Here we go. Welcome back to another warm-up show with the Hockey Coach Guru, Coach Frenchy, directly for the Sunshine State in Florida, Miami. And we have to go all the way to the north to find the co-host, the number one Bob Gainey, Mr. Enortap, back in the house today.
Hello, Coach.
Happy Monday, Mr. Enortap. Hopefully you did not eat too much candy yesterday and you are all ready and you did not spend too much money on the candy for everybody. Yes. And you're ready to rock and roll the beautiful, great Monday. Only 3 games tonight and NHL is going to be very quickly, honestly, about the prediction and everything like that. Yeah. So it's very quiet in NHL. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not many games, 3-5 games. So it's going to be, but Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we talk about 9, 12, and 15 game, I believe, or something like that. So it's going to be really busy day on the flip side every 2 days. But, we're going to talk about the fantasy hockey today. And I'm going to see show the standing of the Hockey Nation Live Show Fantasy Hockey ESPN today. We're going to see different name at the top of the ceiling, on the top of the ranking on that division over there. We're going to recognize a couple of people over there. So, glad to say I beat Mr. Joseph Laham this week on the ESPN, and I'm at the top of the fantasy hockey. But we have a few people in the house today, many people in the house directly all around the world. First, directly from Vegas, Golden Knight, and Mr. Adam, the swimmer, Burger in the house. From Colorado, the fans number 1 of the Boston Bruins, Mr. Brad Marchand in the house today. Of course, we have always the number 1 fans of the Hockey Nation Show, the morning, afternoon, evening. We turn on. He's always show up to Westmount, Montreal, Mr. Canadian Giant. And we have Mark Zook. Back in the house today. Said, thanks, Coach. I see Cole went sent down. Yeah, Cole is down. We're going to talk about Mr. Caulfield the next couple of minutes. From the West Coast on the Sunshine State, from Tampa Bay to St. Marco Island. She's always between because she's traveling north, she's traveling south, and she's still on the west. Why not to say welcome back the birthday of the weekend, Kimberly Hanna. From Finland, number 1 support from Finland, Mr. Yamo Virtanen and the hoist, moi, in the house today.
Moi.
From Newfoundland, great fans of the Dawson Mercer. She said Dawson is a great hockey player, and she's right about this. Number 1 fans of the Montreal Canadiens, and she don't like the Toronto Maple Leafs, but she's right now not happy about her Montreal Leafs Bleu Blanc Rouge. Miss Ellen Keefe in the house. And we have another fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Brendan and Jen Cole in the house directly from you. Maybe from Ontario. I don't know. Maybe she come from Toronto. I don't know. Maybe she will tell us where they are coming from. But we'll see what happen. I'm a slide in the fantasy Adam Burger, so he's at the bottom, I believe, why he talk like this. We'll see what happen this. But we have also number 1 fans of the Los Angeles Kings. Did not believe on the power play of the team after 4 goals and 23 Adam. They score, I believe, 3 more goals on power play this weekend, maybe 4. Mr. Ron with Kings, number 20 in the house. And we have Mr. Zeno, the Winnipeg Jet number 1 from maybe Manitoba or maybe on the west coast of the West Canadian. Mr. Zeno back in the house. And why not to set directly from Saint Leonard, from Saint Leonard. Because now I remember, I was not sure last time. Now I took a note and I keep this on my computer right here. Mr. Franco Iacono, bienvenuto. I speak Italian sometime in our time. We have also, I thought it was Tom Cruise, but it's another Cruise. But Mr. Tom is in the house today. I don't know where he's coming from. Maybe it's the first time I see Tom Cruise. So if you're first time, don't forget to subscribe. If you are not the first time, welcome back. And don't forget, everybody of you, click on the likes because we would like to have all the people click on the like today. So thanks for joining us, Mr. Tom Cruise. Oh, Stang bring back Larry Robinson, number 19 in our top. We remember Larry Robinson for sure. One of the great defensemen of the Montreal Canadiens, number 19. Directly from Finland. Why not say the Wizard in our top? We have the Wizard back in the house, Mr. Vili. Oh, moi, Vili. Oh, moi. Thank you so much, Round of Wit Kings. I think we go through everybody. If not, we apologize. If we forget one of you, just let us know. We're just going to do this.
You are awesome.
Oh, Moro said, how are you, I believe. I believe Moro is how are you in Finland. Maybe Mr. Yamo would tell us. But first of all, in our tap, after 6 minutes, I was just talking. You cannot say any words. I'm sure you have a couple of words to say. What do you what remind more of what your happenings on the weekend? Anything in particular? You said this weekend was what you remember the most, or make an impact, or you pay more attention. News, game, injury, whatever is happening. Anything you want to sharing with us?
Well, I was really looking forward to that Saturday game with Florida and Boston, and it really didn't disappoint. You had two teams that played very, very well. Goaltending was solid on both ends. It could have gone either way. I'm not too surprised that Boston at home eventually ended up winning that game, but you can't win all the games. Carolina will come up with their loss too, and very soon. The other thing that struck me this weekend as well was really the comeback from Detroit when they played the Leafs that game on Saturday. It's like every time the Leafs took a couple goal lead, Detroit just came right back. They were persistent. They kept carrying the puck and taking the play to the Leafs. I know that maybe the shots on goal didn't indicate it, but just the general outlook of the game was, in their favor, and they're to be commended for that because they knew they came in with a game plan and they executed to the best of their ability. And of course, what can you say? Montreal losing again last two games. They really had hoped they'd. I had predicted that they'd go 3-1-1 in their next 5 games. Unfortunately, they went 2-3. We're going to see now that Caulfield has been sent down and Pizzetta has been brought up. So hopefully, we're going to have a little bit of injection of energy into the lineup. Unfortunately, as you'll probably get into very soon, there have been some other injuries or suspensions to the team. So, the beat goes on.
Yeah, I'm so right about that. Great first of all for the weekend. Detroit, we talked that. For me, it's about the inclusion of the Calgary Flames last week. That's the most important thing I remember most because they won their 4 game. They are now, 6-1-1, I believe, something like that. And they gave only 7 goals. They're just looking great. The Flames are great. We talk about a lot of Florida and the Carolina, if you talk that, but the team is underrated behind everything. I think it's the Calgary Flames with Max Strom and the system of Daryl Sutter. When they always said, but they don't give a lot of goals. They are really defensive, but they score. And one of the best line right now in the NHL is Langholm, Goodrow, and Tkachuk. So you have to give credit about what's going on over there. And of course, the Buffalo Sabres last year they 3-2, but until then they are 5-1-1. So they keep consistent to stay in the game. And with Detroit, they are not a team where easy to beat like it was before in the past. So that's what happened. Tom Cruise, Calabria. Here we go. We have also Ron said, do you think Ovi has lost heart in the game? Okay, I know he put the number in it for the team. And that's over the year, he has become very lazy.
No, I mean Ovi, I think is this year we're seeing a rejuvenated Ovi for sure. I mean, I think he's really taken the team on his back this year, especially in light of the fact that he's trying to chase this Gretzky record down. And there's a couple players that he could possibly catch this year. So I see him continuing, and it's amazing that the man he's in great athletic shape. He keeps in shape year in and year out. There is no off season for him. I've seen his training program, and it's literally he takes about 2 weeks the entire year off, and the rest is all about keeping in shape and staying on top of things.
Yeah, maybe sometime, or maybe the people think with the way he plays, sometimes he look like lazy, right? Is that guy that's like, first of all, he's not back checking a lot, right? It's not a guy who's stay in the defensive corner, right? He's still high a little bit, and then on the power play, he's still there for longer. I'll be honest with you, I would say no, he's not lazy. Second thing, I call him the tank. The guy can run, go through anybody in NHL at 240 pounds, 30, 450, whatever he is. And he's just a tank. He's not tall. He's only 6'1", I believe, right. 6'1", but he's just square. And when he goes straight, he goes straight. I think he's one of the most, Crosby's about fitness, about Crosby's skate, turn around, tight turn, protect the puck, everything like that. Ovechkin, him, is more about, he have more the passion about the love, the game, everything like that, and he's more about the shot, everything like that. So it's two different players, but I think I don't see I would be difficult time to consider this as a lazy player. He looked like that way, but I don't think so. He is at the end of the day. Mr. Enortap, Adam said, ask a question. What do you think of Vegas now that another top six Carlson is out for 6 weeks?
Yeah, well, welcome to the reality of a lot of other teams in the NHL. You know what? Vegas has been plugging away. They had a couple of nice victories recently, and until they get their stars back, they have to play this way. They have to go out there and just break the game down, period by period. I would even say shift by shift, and just do the basics and do them well. They have decent goaltending that will keep them into the games. Although Leonard hasn't been quite, as good as we thought he could be, but he keeps them in the game. The defense is always rock solid, so you don't have to worry there. You have to play a smart game and wait for your opportunities until you can start dictating the play with the oppositions when your players come back into the lineup.
I think this one it hurt a lot in my book, and I don't want to discourage Adam, but honestly, this it hurt a lot. You're losing maybe your best center and that team right now, and we lose Stone Patrick. You still have that enough, and everybody can push all together. You win. You still have more winger. You're losing right now. The middle of the ice, and what they don't have a lot at the in return, right? Yeah, you have Nicolas Roy, you have Chandler, Stephenson, right?
Stevenson.
And Colesau can play there if they need him. But now they're changing the chair about that one there, and then Carlson play on special team. So you're losing another character. The players when they wait a minute, we cannot breathe anymore. We lost one. All right, we lost two. Oh, it's getting harder. Now we lost 3, and that's hurt a lot more about that one. That for me, this will be really harder for them to recover, more like Stone and Paturity on my book. But we'll see how depth they are. I know, and we lost also Northern Patrick, where is under the center in the middle of that line over there. So you talk about Florida Panthers, the last 4 or 5 center all the way back to back to back. At some point, you have depth, but you don't have enough to cover everything. So I think that will hurt really Carlson a 6 week on my book, honestly. And we have Mr. But the Monkey Boy back in the house.
I'm not too happy with Bud these days.
Bottom Monkey, by the way, guys, you don't know, but we're going to talk about this very soon. Mr. Bottom Monkey beat Enortap by 0.05 for the fantasy hockey. Congratulations, Bottom Monkey, about that victory. And you can thank Mr. Panarin at the end of the game yesterday about that one. But in fact, you only lose this. Me, I lost money last 2 weeks ago when they shoot on Koskinen, but that's another story. As a fan, I love Ovi, but I cannot see him beating Gretzky number. Can you see Ovi beating number 1? If you talk about the scoring goal, I'll be honest with you, before the beginning of the season, I would say no, impossible. I don't see this possible. And then now he looked like a machine. I'll be honest with you, what I can find in our tap is like he's on mission. And the guy looked like when he's on mission, he can accomplish everything. So he want to get that record, and I think it's possible. He still need to score about 40 goals for the next 2 years for me to have that possible to reach that number in my book. Now, if you get 50 this year, 40 next year, this is going to be there. Now, the injury, if that could be another problem, but right now, the chance is increasing to reach that record in my book more. Today, I was like month ago when the season started. I don't know what you think about that.
Coach Ovechkin's a very determined individual. If he puts something, in his mind and he's after that record, if he doesn't get it, he'll come very, very close to it. I'm confident of that. And like I said before, he could very well get 50, 60 goals this year, and he'll be right on pace to doing it in, I'd say, a couple more years, probably.
Yeah, and then Tom Cruise says, love Ovi, strong, fast fighter, abs scorer, every time that, right? And then he said, the Russian vodka diet. And I was coaching in the East Coast Hockey League in 1999, 2001, every time that. And everybody get an apartment, a free apartment, every time that. And I have my own by myself. I have like an extra bedroom, and it was for if we get a call up from not a call up, but a players coming back, or we got a trade for a couple of days or weeks. The players come with me, leave in my apartment because they don't want too much. But I was a video coach. It was not the end of the world. So anyway, and I got a Russian kid show up. Can I speak English? And my English was not good already. Like he is not great right now, but he wasn't worse in that years. And he come up. He said, "Let's go shopping." I go to shopping, like grocery store. And he buy like a couple, strawberry, blueberry, couple of things like that. And then he bought like 5 bottles of vodka. And he was drinking vodka all afternoon. That's the only thing he did all the time. He was with me, and he was never drunk. The guy was unbelievable. I was like, oh my God, that's a youth hockey. That's a East Coast Hockey League. Round set, I don't think Ove will get it. And I wish he would. I just don't see it happening. It's a little bit far away, Ron, to see this yet. Like I said, you have too many probability could turn around, everything like that, injuries and the age and everything like that, right? But at the pace he's doing right now, you have to admit right now he's the top scorer of the league right now. He's doing very well. He has 14, 50 points. And he's scoring 1 goal per game right now. He's on pace to get 60 goals, I believe, right now. Can he get this? I don't know. But he's on mission. And Ovi right now is on mission. So that's what happened. He never stopped drinking with a fan. So I don't know. I did not try that one over there, but that's what I remember about this for sure. If Ovi play with Messi, a coffee grand full, all his number would be even better. Yes, Tom, and also that during that time of the generation, right? So it's hard to compare, but if it was played that time with those players, I agree with you about that. Food for thought, H, and stuff for Ellen Keep. Let's move on to the next thing about you about this. Yes, this is the standing, and we see Coach Frenchy at the top with Michael Rosenblatt on the right side. Vallejo is number 2 with Seattle Crabheads. I don't know who Seattle Crabheads, but we have Team has Asham. Dan is number 4. Bottom Monkey, John with there. We have Brett Marchand, believe, below. We have Enortap following by Jaden Jenkins, I believe. We don't see Jenkins anymore. And then Adam is at the bottom of the right there with Zenit, Mr. Zenit with Zayla and Caroline. On the left side, Coach Frenchy just beat Joseph a couple of days ago. And then we have Quebec Ferry. I don't know Quebec Ferry, who he is, honestly. Mr. Moy Finland is at the house right now. We have Philadelphia. I'm not remember who he was. Tim Kudrow is, oh my God, Tim Kudrow is Dixon. We have also Dave Zucker with the Zook. Brad will win the Stanley. I don't know Brad which team he has right now. And Houston is Joseph. Finally, Team Chainsaw Man is at the bottom at 0-3. So that's what's happening about this one. Before we move on, Ron said, and 3 years, one matches contract, and he is in the Supreme. How much we heard the league? If he won't trade for, I think he would get him a cap. I think at the end he's going to be a UFA run with King, so I think he can go anywhere he wants to do. I'll be surprised what he's going to do, but many things could happen before now, today. We don't know the salary cap. Everything would be at that moment. Do you have anything you believe he will move somewhere in Ottawa? Or?
Well, there's always been speculation that being from Arizona, that he may return back to that part of the world. So that's always to be taken with a grain of salt, because I think if things progress properly with the Leafs, I don't see why he wouldn't stay here and take his chances, trying to win a cup in this city here in Toronto, than going somewhere else. Like, of course, he's going to follow the money, I think, but I think he's comfortable right now where he is.
I agree with you. Ron, so do you think the Ontario Reign can go all the way? Yes, they can. They have a really solid team over there. How depends if the Kings going to be up and down the players over there, but they have a great team over there. Thomas and when Kaliev was there, so they have a very strong team. Turcotte is over there. I think they can really strong in that division on the American Hockey League for sure. We have Sean McIntyre directly from PEI on the east of Canada. Welcome back, Mr. Sean. Coach, it's like they listened to us last night about Cole now. He will hope the chant is made. We talked about this last night on tap about the fact maybe they should send down Cole Caulfield and call back, piss it up. And, Marc Bergeron called me last night, said, what do you think about this, Coach? I said, look, that's why I talked to my people in the chat. So I said, you should do it. I would look great tomorrow night. So, it was like, I believe they cannot do anything yet, like fire or everything like this. But I have something else coming in our top. Should I tell them?
I'm sure.
Should I shit them?
Sure, give us a little sneak peek for sure.
All right. We don't have a lot of people, guys. I will tell you what I'm thinking. I believe Carey Price is now returning with the Montreal Canadiens this season. I'm not sure he's going to be retired. And the Montreal Canadiens right now try to get Kopisalo or Huntinger for the Dallas Star. Do not be surprised if it's not be surprised that's a price, but do not be surprised if the next couple of weeks or the couple of weeks you see Montreal Canadiens get a new goaltender and they will announce Carey Price not returning with the team for the end of the season, and possible maybe Carey Price get retired. That's my feeling. I don't say that's a source. That's not that someone tell me that or are you. It's just my feeling right now. I feel like this could happen. So I think right now they are looking around. I think Carey Price at that way with Montreal play, he don't see this. Now people, yeah, I agree. People thinking he want to go Team Canada, but I'm not sure he will be mix both Canada and Canadian, Montreal Canadiens at the same time. I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before. I don't say that would be, but I just feel that way now. I feel like at the way is, sometimes, guys, the money is a one reason in life, but when you make already 50, 60, or $80 million, do you really need more? Do you really say, do I need like $5 million more? It would be better to grow my daughter right now in front of me and my kids and my wife, to be with them every day and to have another life and do something else. He's involved the horse. He's a great guy, so rodeo, water cancer, like that. You have a house in Kelowna close to Shea Weber is. Again, this is just a thought. This is just my feeling. I don't say what happened. I'm not sure I'm going to make a video. I'm hesitate. Maybe but sometimes you have to take a chance in life. So that's my point about that one over there. But we'll see up in there. And then said that the goaltending is affecting the
ad game. You're going to get a lot
game.
of views, though.
I'm sorry again?
You're going to get a lot of views if you make a video like that, Coach.
Possible. I'm going to get some tomatoes also through my head. But it will be interesting to see that. The goaltending, if we did, the abs came every level. I think when he's back, you're going to see it's from team. They have no confidence in the goaltending right now. So, Ellen, I said this after you said that. You write this. But what do you think about this? If he's back, they'll get the confidence. I agree with her about how the way she think about that.
Well, of course. I mean, he's a premier hockey player, goaltender, and when you get somebody like that back in your line, you can't do anything but instill confidence in your team. Coach, just going back to what you were saying, it's not that I disagree with what you're saying. I could see your point of view for sure, but I can also see that Carey Price has a lot of pride, and I think he still has some goals that he wants to achieve. Not the least of which is perhaps, if everything goes well, winning a gold medal at the Olympics. If his mental state is there and he is healthy, he will, I think, make the effort, not only for that, but also he's invested in Montreal. And I think he loves being here. I know that this summer we saw him lift his no trade clause, in the attempt that maybe the Kraken will pick him up. But I think that was more as an opportunity that if he got picked up there, it wasn't the end of the world. He would still be close to home because he hails from BC, and his wife, I believe, is from Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think he still has a lot to prove to everybody, and he wants to show that. And so I can see that flip side of the coin as well for him.
Yep, possible see about that. Ron with the King said, he think Matthews can go to New York, Pittsburgh, Arizona. I would say to you, do not forget the Vegas. If Matthews can go somewhere in USA, I think Vegas could be a direction he would get, because Vegas always looking for the best of the best. They have money, everything like that. So I'll be not surprised to go there. Steve G in the house. Welcome back, buddy. Kraken, an enormous mythical sea monster said appeared to the coast of Norway. I did not know. So it's a new thing I learned today about that one over there. We just talked about this one, Ron. I apologize. We was talking, but we got it. Helen said, no freaking way, coach.
All right.
I know. I understand. Johnny Golden back in the house today from Moncton, New Brunswick. Come on down. Today, Norlander had his first full practice under injury. Yep. Norlander was with the team. I would not be surprised if Norlander played with the Montreal Canadiens during the week. Now Edmondson is going to be out for another 2 weeks. Bad news for him. So I would not be surprised they gave 9 games to Nylander and decide after that. So it'll be really interesting to see this if Nylander is going to be part of the lineup. So don't be surprised if this happens in our tap the next couple of days, everything like that. Sean McIntyre said, as much will have price to retire, but a cut as a full in the long run. We may be able to make up a better team on the ice. Sean, first of all, thanks for your comments. I will let Enortap explain you guys why, because we talked about this before the show. Why Enortap you believe if Price and Weber decide to retire the next 7 months, 10 months, 1 year, something like that, what the advantage for Montreal Canadiens?
Well, of course, you're losing two icons on the team, and then that's never pleasant. But I mean, the flip side to that is between the two of them, they'd be clearing up over $18 million in salary space. And so, with that, imagine what you can go after either through free agency or even in making trades and acquiring players that are earning a higher salary. They can afford, obviously, to do that. Like their biggest quest has to be going for that number one centerman, whether it's through the draft or whether it's through a trade or a free agency. Having $18 million should pretty much secure that for them. And I think then that puts the rest of the lines in their proper order. You would have Suzuki on the second line, and you would have Dvorak probably on the third line, or vice versa. And Evans would be on your fourth line, which is probably where he belongs. And you'd have 4 more balanced lines like that. So I think it's not the end of the world if you lose them. Of course, you don't want to see them go, but it opens up doors.
I agree with you, and then I will say you the timing is coming perfectly great on my eyes right now. I think for the next 2 years, with the prospect is coming and everything else coming around, I don't think so that team's going to be compete with everybody. So you have a chance right now to resign, to retool, and to get a little bit better goaltender, not better goaltender, but a goaltender cheaper, a defenseman maybe number 1, and maybe another center or vice versa, whatever you want to get to patch what you gave a big contract to one specific player. Where you better to have a $10 million in our tap to a guy like a center versus a goaltender. He's not there every night. So you take more advantage of that kind of money. So for me, I see more positive at the end. Both them are over 35 years old. Gallagher is getting old. You have already Shara's going to leave at 32 years old. You have Petrie hitting right now 34. And I think it will be just the right time about that. I understand what Carey Price do. He did. But again, I'm not sure he can repeat anymore. And that's my biggest question. And then whatever we have Carey Price, we don't have enough strong team right now to compete and to be at the top 5 in a shot at that moment. So why not to at some point thinking? So if it's happened, I see other positivity. If it's not, we have Carey Price. So he just mentioned this. It just opened the door here. It's not said, oh, I heard something when mentioned this. I was just thinking about that way. So I just want to share it with you about that one over there. And then if that's happened, I never watched the Abs ever. But and then they don't fire him. He decide to leave. That's another friend about that one there. Ron said, do you think Fleury is old? He lost his touch playing for the Blackhawks. It could be the education going on, or he get lucky to be with the Penguin in the night. For me, it's a mix of that part. It's the first time you see, and I think it could be any goaltender right now with the poor quality of the defenseman Chicago who has. We now have that kind of number. When you have a team in front of you, a better defenseman, you look better. Whatever he does, it's not good enough. You can see last game he was, I believe, his best game for the Chicago, but not good enough to get a W. That team struggled because the defensive is not there, and that's the biggest problem with that team at that moment over there. So I believe Fleury will be traded at Edmonton the next couple of weeks. But again, is it done yet? I don't think so. on my book. He's too much like your price is pride. I think he's still health and he's good looking. I think he have all kind of quality. He proved it, and I think it's. I don't see a goaltender can lose all his repair and join a couple of weeks or month. I don't think so. It's just that right now what he has in front of him. It's like Carey Price right now. You put Carey Price right now with Montreal Canadiens, maybe one more win, maybe two max. And he's going to have another 2.70, 2.80 goal against average, and maybe a save percentage of 0.99, something like that, because he cannot stop everything. It's impossible. So I think for me, that's the situation about that one over there. Spec said, I cannot believe Caulfield has not done better. It's just a circumstance, Spec. Many players did that, go down, they come back after that. And that's part of the process sometimes. There's nothing wrong about this part. I think Leon Dressel did it in Enortap in the past, if I can remember.
Yes.
So it's just a part of that one over there.
And
I will
it's
finally
the right
retire
thing
an
to do
Habs
right now,
fan.
Coach.
Say again?
It's the right thing to do right now. Like if anything, the Habs organization has been blamed for not properly cultivating our prospects, and perhaps like with the case with Kokanyemi, bringing him up too soon, a year or two too soon, and I think now they're doing the right thing, and I think seeing Petzetta here, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, he will finally retire as an Habs fan if he leave. And then she said she likes you a lot because she said she get you a little bit feel her better because you tell her like he's not leaving, he will be back for Team Canada every time that. Talking about feel better, why not to retire to say welcome to Lemon Apocalypse? Is there really a danger of retiring? Why?
Coach. You have everybody worried tonight, Coach.
Yes, I understand that. It's just my feeling about this one over there. I just feel like Montreal is not good enough to compete. Maybe his knee's not ready yet. Maybe not recovery. Maybe it's all different things could happen. Personally, is what he has right now. And maybe he take a little bit longer to recovery, and the help he get, it would take him maybe 4 or 5 months. And maybe I realize in January, why not to consider until the end of the year anyway. We are 29 in the standing. Why to come back? Now, the Team Canada is one interest for what Enortap said. I said always the same thing about this. That's my point. I always said he will be back between 45 to 60 days. Today, I'm thinking about different way possibilities. I don't say he wants to retire. I don't say he will retire. I don't say he will quit or what he will request a trade. I just said another direction, another perspective, what could happen at Carey Price, and that's my feeling about that one over there. So that's it. That's else. Everything like that. Sean said a number 1D and number 1 center. Yeah, I agree with you about that one over there. As a King fan, I don't like the Avalanche because the commentator, but I also think McKinnon deserves a cup. Do you think he can win a cup with Avalanche? They have the team. The expert predict the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup this year. The chance are better, but they don't show yet what it can be. If McKinnon is not there, it's Rantanen. And when Rantanen is not there, it's McKinnon. And when McKinnon is not there, it's Lestegard. And Lestegard is not there. So it's all three player guys. If I recall it, they only played 2 games this year together. Now Rantanen is out. So he's a day-to-day. So it's a team that be healthy. They're still missing Devon Toews. Quimper he does not go like he's supposed to be overall. But I'm not worried about them. It will be interesting. I don't know if he can, but I know he wants to get this. But it will be interesting. The chance, I think, this year, they are a little bit better. But to get it, they miss a couple of pieces on the puzzle for me. The bottom 6 is not strong enough. I run at that moment. But Joe Sakin can maybe looking for the trade return that they get back. Welcome back Samuel Girard this weekend. So it was good to see him during the last game playing 45 minutes. But Ellen said, Coach, you're killing me right now with your negative information tonight. Oh, man. It's not negative. It's just another perception of what I have or what I feel. You know, I don't want him to retire. I just feeling all the little thing I see could happen. But again, directly about Pusisi, because he's back. It was the birthday of his dad this weekend. This week, directly for Stockholm. He may be back home. He's maybe working now. Mr. Stefan Manberg back in the house. Here we go. I can start with Yarmo. Well, you can beat me easily. Here we go. Rhonda, I completely understand what you said about Fleury because Quick is going through the same thing, but I hope Quick without his contract next year. That's right there about that. I agree with you, Ron, about Jonathan Quick, about that one there. Yamo is through. Steven, did you change time Sunday? I miss it on my watch. So you have to drink like 2 hours, blah, blah. Michael Robinson back at the house.
Michael.
Nice to see you this soon, Coach Zenit with Zaela and Caroline. And Zenit, remember, we have a show every day at 5 o'clock now with Enortap. So you're welcome Zaela. Bonjour Zaela, j'espère que tu as passé une très belle journée à l'école. Je te souhaite une très belle soirée. Out in Stockholm for 2 weeks. Enortap, Stefan is at that moment. Good afternoon, Zenit. That'd be awesome. Quickly, because we are behind, let me fire up this one with that. Batman, I have a press conference call with many reporters. Really bad overall for me on the ranking from 1 to 10. I would give him about 5 or 6. Not really great, not very good. NHLP fear I have a conference call at 4 o'clock today. No news about me. Petrie is hurt. Jeff Petrie have a limping, cannot walk a lot. That's what report by some people when they saw him in Anaheim this weekend. Jeff Petrie is not in good shape. That's the reason he cannot perform. He play about 50% of what he is at that moment. Gallagher is on the day-to-day reevaluation today. No words for me. I don't know. Perrault is out for 2 or 3 weeks with a high injury. Cedric Paquette got 2-match suspension today by the league. And then Montreal have, if you can skate, you should call Marc Bergeron. They may be looking for a center. If you play center, you may be part of the lineup tomorrow. The Ottawa Wave, Sabourin, from them will be interesting. You can get the start of the week's guy, Max Strom first, Patterson second, Killorn third. We're going to have the start of the month and the rookie of the month. Maybe done right now. I don't know. I did not look, but we'll be talking about this tomorrow. And on the Washington, first of all, Vegas Carlson out for 6 weeks. I don't report this. He's right. Oshie is out and Down is out for the Washington Capitals. They are on the ER. And Patrick Kane make a return for the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. About that one there. You're welcome, Zenit, about this. And on top, I would like to ask you a question, but we have no time. So I'm sorry, buddy. We talk too much right now. So maybe tomorrow. Here we go. It's all about you now. Washington 503, Tampa Bay 431, Vanecek versus Vasilevsky.
Yeah, I think here Washington's going to be looking for a better outcome than the last time they met. The game was 2-1, I believe, for Tampa in overtime. So it's a tough position to be in because I think it's difficult to see who's really advancing. I think Washington's playing better. I think Tampa's finally turned things around, so we're going to see a better game. I think this is going to probably go to overtime, and I'm going to take Tampa to win this one 3-2.
All right, 3-2. Yamos of Washington for 3. I'll be honest with you. Enortap, this was like 50-50 for me. One day I'm thinking about was maybe Tampa. Then I said maybe Washington. Maybe the defensive of Tampa a little bit better. And when then Vanecek is there, Vanecek struggled for the last couple of games. So I said, you know what? I'm going with Tampa anyway. And it's play at home. And 4-3, I'm opposite at the Yamo about the team, but I keep the same score, 4-3 about this. Yamo, you agree with me, 50-50. Game agree. You should be agree all the time with me, by the way, but that's another subject in our tap about that one over there. The next game, 3 3-4-0 for Ottawa. Chicago, can they win tonight the first game this season, 0-7-2? We talk about Kane. Murray was not confirmed, but he should be there. And Fleury, some points during the day, Michael, in our top, they was telling me it was Lankinen, and then I heard like it was Fleury. So, honestly, I'm not sure. If he can confirm those goaltenders, that'd be great. If not, Pinto is out, and of course, Carly White is out.
Last time I heard it was Forsberg and Fleury. So I don't know if anything's happened within the last couple of hours or so. In this game, Coach, Ottawa actually has played fairly well. It's just that the results haven't been there for them. And I think we're going to see Josh Norris here, who's going to be centering both Kachuk and Batherson, who have been playing very well. And the oldest person in that group is 23 years old. So, they have a lot of promising future here. Question is, can they convert it? It's the toughest jump to make at this stage, is to go from promising prospects to learning how to win the games and executing. Chicago, on the other hand, they've had a horrible start to the season. You always wonder, is this perhaps the game where they get their one victory? It's very possible as well. But I think when all is said and done, I'm going to take Ottawa to win this one 4-3. Again, I'm going to go with overtime as well for this.
All right, yeah, I'm going to go with 4-3 for Chicago and OT. And Steve G, he said 2-1 Ottawa. So I took you score, guys. So tomorrow we'll let you know if you win or not. If anybody want to add some score, please don't hesitate. That'd be awesome. But this one, I said, wait a minute. I need to figure out something here. So I took a chance, and I'm going with Chicago tonight. And I said 4-2. I wish I could say 4-3. But 4-2, an empty net. And that's what happened tonight, 4-2 for the Chicago. That's their first W of the season. And again, this is really just flip the quarter, and that's happening about that one over there. So that's what happened. And finally, the last game of the evening in our top, Seattle versus Edmonton. Seattle have a good weekend, play well at home, but now they are back-to-back game, 3-5-1 versus Edmonton. Take a 1 day off, 6-1-0, big W for them in Vancouver, 2-1. Koskinen back in between the pipes, and now I heard like Gruber. Someone said Dakar. I don't know if you have a confirmation about Dakar, but that's what's happening about that one. Then I don't know if McKenna came back tonight also.
Yeah, I think it's still Koskinen in that, and I have Drieger now. I don't know if anything's happened recently, but that's sort of where it's at. I'm looking at Seattle, and I'm seeing, first of all, Coach, they're right now they rank in the top 5 in the league in terms of penalty killing, and the other thing that's more outstanding here is the fact that they sit near the top of the NHL in fewest shorthanded opportunities that they've been in. So they don't give up. They don't take any bad penalties. So they're going to need all of that, because on the flip side, Edmonton is probably number 1 or 2 in power play in the league. And they almost, I think right now they're if I'm not mistaken, they're at around a 46% power play efficiency, which is just phenomenal when you think about it. And given the players that they can throw out there, it's fantastic. So for Seattle to have any sort of chance, they're definitely going to have to stay out of the penalty box and play a very tight game, not give up too much ice to Edmonton. But unfortunately, I think that Edmonton will come out on top of this one, 5-1.
All right, same thing for Yamo, 6-3, and Steve G said 3-0. Slink XXYYT, welcome aboard. We're going to give you an answer in a few minutes. Don't go nowhere. And Yamo confirmed about the goaltender, Dakar Koskinen. Look, guys, I don't change anything myself too. I go 5-2, guys. I don't see anything else. Too much good Edmonton right now at that moment. So that's confirmed right now what's going on. And finally, we're going to go on the fantasy hockey, uh, about that. We have a. I'm going to give you the hot and cold about those players right now. On the hot, right now they are doing very well for the last 7 days, 10 days, I believe. It's Huberdeau, Ovechkin, Killorn, McKinnon, Tarasenko, and Lingholm and Kyle Connor. They have a really great stretch right now for their team at that moment in NHL. So if you play fantasy hockey, it's those kind of the player you should look about this. Finally, who is cold? Don't touch them. They don't doing well. Brett Ritchie and Nick Ritchie, both Ritchie right now. One for Calgary, one for the Toronto. Maxime Comtois, very difficult. Kevin Fiala, they have not much going on with him right now. Eric Ola with the Boston have a couple of opportunities with Florida, but did not do it. Peter Krabs, nothing over there too. And then for Arizona, Chink Crown does not do well. And then, of course, Montreal Canadiens, Joel Armia. I could put other players, but Armia does not play well at that moment over there about this. Yamo, I have Ola. Maybe put him not on the waiver, but he's not doing well at that moment. Antti Koivula, welcome aboard, Andy. Number one fans are the Edmonton Oilers, about that one over there. So that's conclude about the hot and cold. And then I'm going to give you the goaltender, guys. So that'll be something we do sometimes during the weeks. At that moment, Max Strom, Anderson, Bobrovsky, Sorokin, Vasilevsky. Some of them have 2-1, 2-0, 3-0, or they are 1-1, but they have a below 2.00 goal average for the last minimum 2 or 3 games. So where are they right now? They are the 5-6-5 goaltender at that moment. Who does not touch? Maybe win sometime one game, but they not do it well. It's Hill in San Jose, Lankinen and in Chicago. He can put Fleury also with there. Campbell, whatever he does, one win. You have a 3.36 with 86 in our tap. Thomas Grease, really great start with Detroit, but now he's struggled on the game away against. And then Gibson, yeah, coach, he beat Montreal Canadiens, but he still have a 3.36 with a save percentage, only at 8.89 at that moment. So Gibson struggled a little bit. That's what the hot and cold about that situation. They're going to finish our prediction of the player tonight. Of course, Enortap pick always first. He get what he want, and then me, I complete because I can pick up his player. But I try to give you another option, you guys. I expect those kind of players will have a good night tonight. So let's move on with the 5 players you have, Mr. Enortap.
Okay, so in net, I picked goalie Vasilevsky, Tampa Bay. And defenseman, I went all Edmonton. I went with Barry and Evan Bouchard.
I just want to mention, guys, Bouchard is game decision could be out tonight. So just be careful before you pick him. Look around. Take the last update, what's going on. But Enortap, Bouchard could be out tonight.
Okay, fair enough. And forwards, I went with Ovechkin. And then McDavid and Draisaitl.
You got it. But what I did opposite because I said what you said. So Koskinen for them, I go with Thomas Chabot tonight with the Ottawa Senators. And then, of course, he have not strong enough this year, but I still believe John Carlson. But I could go with Edmund. So it was one of the two I did not go, but I miss Edmund around. You can look about Edmund if he can get it. Of course, he have a good year complete with McDavid and Tressel, RHN. And then we have also Josh Norris. You mentioned about him earlier. And then Kuznetsov doing very well with the with the Washington Oilers. Before we go, you have a question here from Slink. Said, "Are you worried about Montreal in our top?"
I don't know what you mean by worried. Like I think we need to be realistic as much as you love to be a Habs fan. I think with the kind of start that they've gotten off to, it would require a major miracle for them to come back and capture a playoff spot. So from that perspective, am I worried or disappointed? A little bit, but remember, with every rainy day comes the sun the next day, and if we finish low, it means that we're going to have a better draft year. and we have the opportunity to retool within a year and observe some of our youth and prospects that are in the system as well. We have an opportunity at trade deadline time to maybe shed some of our um, higher salaried players if the return for that is good, and really you're in control under those kind of situations. So I think it's a temporary thing with Montreal. I think that they can turn things around. They will play better. Remember, you're never as bad as the record is when you're going through a slump. Just the same way you're not as good as when you're winning all of your games. The truth always lies somewhere in between. So I do expect Montreal to improve a little bit, but it's going to be almost impossible to make the playoffs this year.
I agree with you. I think that would be very hard for them to get that kind of, you know, it's hard when you start the season like 2-8, right? So I don't know if it's really disappointed. I think at the end of the day, right? It's always you never know what could happen with injuries, right? But I think that's what I believe. It's a big problem right now for the Montreal Canadiens, obviously, about that one over there. So um, you know, um, now they talk about Jake Eichel. Calgary is maybe jumping about this. About that one. Imagine if Adam Fox would be the with um, with the Calgary Flame, by the way. But Adam Fox, the New York Rangers defenseman, the winner of the Norris Trophy last season, extend a 7 year at $9.5 million per New York Rangers. One of the top defensemen in NHL is an elite two-way talent, was uncanny hockey IQ. So it's going to be really a great and impact for the New York Rangers. So this is the news of the day that I know Yarmo mentioned about this to us live here, but that's confirmed right now. So thanks a lot to confirm with us in our tap. Adam Fox extend a 7 year at 9.5. So we talk about another $65 million, $66 million. So before we leave, in our tap, what do you think about this?
The sign.
Did we lost you, buddy?
Oh, can you hear?
Yeah.
Can you?
It looked like freezing a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm just saying when you look at the contract by Riley, it makes that look very reasonable in today's market. Now, of course, Fox is a much better defenseman than Riley, in my opinion, and I think that he he will in the definite next 5 6 years be well worth that amount. You always worry with these large contracts down the road how they will end. Will the player continue to grow at that rate? Will they produce at that rate? Will they stay away from injuries, etc.? But for now, I mean, it's a smart thing to do for the Rangers to lock them up.
Yeah, confirmed by Pierre Lebrun also, 7 year, 23 years old, signed also 7 year, $9.5 million. And also, 2 goals, 7 assists, and 9 game, 9 point in our tap at that moment. One of the best defensemen. If you watch him very well, you have a great stick every time that. So that gave us an idea about this. You have the last word of the. Anybody want to ask question? It's time. If not, in our tab, you have the last word of the day. What you maybe wanted to think, what you're looking for tonight, and that'll be the end of the show.
Well, I think you're going to have a couple of very, very close games. I don't anticipate the Edmonton game to be as close, but the other two, we're going to see if does Chicago finally come out of their losing ways in this game. They came very close last time. I think it was 2-1 the final. They played much better, and that Washington Tampa game, these two teams have had quite a battle over the years, and I think that it's going to be another one tonight. Like I said, I anticipate it to go into overtime, and we'll see how that goes. But I just want to thank you again, Coach, and say hello and goodbye to our entire Hockey Nation crowd.
Yeah, we have just Mr. Roger Delaney back in the house. That's a little bit Halloween stuff right now here, but we have Roger back in the house right now. Thanks, Roger, to join us. We're going to talk a little bit more about Montreal. So what's going on tonight, Coach? Tonight we don't hear Coach have an engagement. I try to get one night per week, a night off to recovery and to reset and to prepare. And I prefer the Monday to the Sunday night. So that's what. So Coach is not there tonight, but he's going to prepare videos, everything like that. I'm going to also make an article and prepare a company email for the membership. And that's what's happening for me tonight. We're going to be, of course, watching hockey at some point. But day off, I don't know if call it a day off, but there's something like that in Enortap. First of all, Enortap, I want to mention thank you so much for your collaboration and what you bring on the table here. I know for all the people in the fans and the messenger, they would say the same thing like he said to you. Thank you so much because you bring a lot of knowledge about hockey, and we're really grateful, thankful having you every single day. At 5 o'clock Eastern Time, that's what the warm-up show happening. But before we leave, of course,
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
thank you so much, everybody. Have an amazing, great rest of Monday night. I look forward to you tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, with another collaborator, Mr. Michael DeVillano. Go, Steve G said, by the way, thanks for the great show, guys. Go, Avalanche, go. Steve is a big fan of the Colorado Avalanche. Andy Quivulo said, cheer. Of course, I'm sure Stefan member, Brad Marchand is right now at the happy hour somewhere, somehow. Thank you so much, Enortap. Have an amazing, great night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.